Hello, everybody, and this is your Dpinfocus speaking. And of course, we're now on the third live session of Dpinfocus in Focus podcast. Later on at 2000 is the Adulting with Choice playing Shot of Sanity Live, which is powered by Spring Studios Philippines. And in this episode, we're going to have some sort of answers from the most frequently asked questions that got bombarded by the single social media post that I'm going to share it with you right now. And of course, we're still live here on Dearful Digital Media, and hopefully you would see a single window that says, or should I say, the public transportation updates that is being shared to Dear Paul FB page. And here we go. We're sharing the screen right now. Hopefully there would be no technical errors. And let's have some sort of split screen. And as you can see, the shared post from the Department of Transportation coming from the Republic of the Philippines, wherein the Department of Transportation have deployed several vehicles or P2P buses, 268 rather, in 28 routes as identified in Metro for the Metro Manila adjacent and its adjacent areas, as the general community quarantine have started from 1st of June, and it's part of the phase 1 of the transportation resumption. And it says here, the following are the P2P bus routes and the corresponding number of buses serving each route. And that includes the 28 plus the Ubay Express airport P2P buses that are operating right now. And of course, such conditions such as, well, physical distancing, face mask, and even the electronic payments scheme, such as the automated fare collection system, either paying through electronic means like Beep Card, Prime Tap Card, GCash, PayMaya, and so on and so forth. And as such, the resumption of the transportation are covered into two-phase system. Let me show it to you the window. So please stand by. The transportation resumption are covered as two phases. The phase 1 would be the trains, including mass rapid transit systems, light rail transit systems, and also the bus augmentation services, such as the parts of the bus routes, echo, and even 17 and also 9, wherein bus route 9 is the augmentation for the line 2 under rehabilitation due to the previous fire that got affected with Anonas, Katipunan, and Santolan stations. So while the line 2 or the mass rapid transit line 2, by the way, if you're wondering why is it called mass rapid transit, I'm going to open the hashtag MRT2 Facebook page to show it to you what it proves to be the true form of the mass rapid transit. Wherein some people might say that it's only in EDSA, but not in this case. Line 2, as it says, it's MRT. And of course, we're going to scroll this one, or maybe let's proceed it first with the official online portal of the it's MRT2 or hashtag MRT2. And of course, it's actually on the WordPress. Hashtag MRT2.wordpress.com. I'll type it into say. Oh, by the way, it's not on the screen and I upload and I'm sorry for some sort of technical errors that have occurred. And it's all written right there all the way from 2015 as the date says so. LRT is wrong. MRT is right. Communities from or international audiences from Singapore, Hong Kong, and even from the Japan, as well as Taipei, and even from New York, and even from the San Francisco, Los Angeles, and elsewhere in Europe and in Dubai could understand this one. This could be called as the Metro or MRT, Mike Romeo Tango, or its complete term, Mass Rapid Transit. Without further ado, the emphasis is this. blue stored value card all the way from 2015. Don't forget that this article is written way back 2015 and I'm going to write it on the screen. And of course, we're going to I'm going to share it to you on why it is called the mass rapid transit and not the light rail transit for the line 2. As it says here, mass rapid transit, mass rail transit, or anything, or you could call it as metro, a high capacity urban public transit system using underground or elevated trains. And it's either diesel multiple units or electric multiple units are used. And also, it's also called subway in most cases. However, there would be some sort of historical guide, historical backgrounds that then President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo and the former cabinet members are well aware of such technical terms. That's why it is indicated as the LRTA, that would mean Light Rail Transit Authority dash Line 2 or MRT Line 2 that got arrived from 2003 or 2004 from the start of the Line 2 operation. And however, no administration, no officials, they are ignorant and they are misusing the LRT in most documents. That would cause sort of confusion, legal problems, and distortion of factual information. And of course, way back 2015, they have started the petition to correct those mistakes or biggest mistake. And as a civil engineering student, I'm very concerned about the terminologies that could be misused by anybody else. And this one, Here are the implications that if it says mass rapid transit as opposed to light rail transit, is that a single mistake on the compatibility could cause a technical errors, just like what happened to the lines 1 and 3, wherein the line 2 could be used for the long term. And as far as you know, I have been there in Singapore. Me and my mom got into mass rapid transit systems in Singapore with so many transfer points that requires some sort of walking distance, to the point that, sad to say, that my mom's legs could go into some sort of pain already. And by the way, savings could be generated if the mass rapid transit could be used wisely. And if you need to have some sort of references, I'll recommend you to visit the official online portal of the hashtag MRT2, and it's indicated on the screen. On the lighter side, aside from the pressing concerns where we should call the line 2 as the mass rapid transit, let's go back to the transportation updates. And I'll show it to you on what's happening here after the general community quarantine got implemented. And it says like this: bus route rationalization got started initially from the EDSA carousel route, also known as the Route Echo, all the way from Taft, Ayala, Quezon Avenue, and North EDSA. Same as for the Route 9 from Cubao all the way to Masinag. And by the way, the line 2 extension that extended from Santolan all the way to Masinag, apart from the rehabilitation from Araneta Cubao interchange to Santolan, which is still closed as of this time. And for the line 1 augmentation from EDSA Taft interchange all the way to Monumento interchange. Or should I say, Monumento roundabout interchange. And as part of the phase 1 approach of the resumption, Let me show it to you on the screen. We're done on the MRT, train, and bus augmentation services. Taxis as well as the rideshare or transport network vehicle services, also shuttle services, point-to-point bus services, and even bicycles. And we're still at the phase 1 since it's 19th June 2020. And sad to say that if you're going home to provinces, no provincial buses are allowed to or from Metro Manila until further notice. And they have barred already those provincial buses, especially if you're coming from any point of Luzon to Metro Manila. Oh my goodness me. There would be a high probability or high chance of diversions to Anyake Integrated Terminal Exchange, Philippine Arena, and even Santa Rosa Integrated Transport Terminal if warranted. And don't get surprised because route rationalization would mean very organized bus routes, and I'll heading you back into the bus route rationalization as they have to, you know, serve some sort of bus route organization. And now, see, 30 out of 31 city bus routes that are operational. And of course, such bus route rationalization could sound inconvenient for some reason, maybe because you need to transfer from one bus route to another or one mode to another. But it's a new normal already. So, the bus route Eco is still in partial operation from Taft all the way to North EDSA. And of course, there's a high chance of diversion of all provincial bus routes to Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, as shown in the screen. Aside from the bus routes Eco 2, 18, 23 to 24, 26 to 30, there are so many options that you wish to do with that journey, or even a round trip ride. But let's remember that the fares will go higher in the city pass levels. And of course, let me show it to you the fare formula. It's 13 peso for the first 5 kilometers, 2 point plus 2.2x, where x could mean the kilometer reading from the first 5 kilometers. So if we're going to do some sort of math, say for example, you're heading into a 15-kilometer bus route, then it would be like 35 pesos already for the regular passengers. But let's observe the 20% discount for students, senior citizens, and persons with disabilities as mandated by the law. And even the uniformed military police personnel and the national athletes. And if we're going to calculate those discount value from the original 35 pesos, it would be 28 pesos already. And by the way, new city bus routes from 19, 20, and 22. Let me show it to you on the screen. Bus route 19 says here, North EDSA to Bonifacio Global City. Bus route 20 from Monumento Roundabout Interchange all the way to Mekawayan in Bulacan. And bus route 22, same roundabout interchange all the way to Angat in Bulacan. Whereas you have to memorize those routes. ECO stands for EDSA Carousel. Bus route 1 from Monumento Roundabout Interchange all the way to Balagtas in Bulacan. Bus route 2, Monumento to Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange or PITEX, PITEX, whether you call it, but it's the same. Bus route 3, same origin all the way to Valenzuela Gateway Complex. And since it's considered express route, they have passed through the EU1 or the North Luzon Expressway from Balintawak Bagong Bayo Interchange. Let's study this illustration once again. This one, Balintawak Bagong Bayo Interchange. And it passes to EU1 or North Luzon Expressway. For those who are still not familiar with the route numbering system, as we are heading in this new normal, then I should advise you to memorize all of these bus routes if you're going to live in Bulacan, Rizal, Laguna, and Cavite, and even Metro Manila as well. Going back to the route numbering system, Apologies for some sort of technical issues here. Let's head in from North EDSA Interchange. Route number 4, also operational from North EDSA Interchange all the way to Fairview. Route 5 from Quezon Avenue Interchange, which is also located in Eton Centris as its terminal. Bus routes 5, 6, and 7 are originating in the same location, but the destination could be in Angat in Bulacan, EDSA Taft Interchange, and Montalban, respectively. And by the way, Montalban is located in Rizal Province. Bus route 8 to 10 originating from Cubao Interchange, and the terminal could be in Araneta City. And the following destination respectively are in Montalban, Antipolo in Rizal, and Doroteo Jose. And by the way, bus route 10 is not yet operational as of this time. So don't forget that bus route 10 is not yet available. Next one are the rest of the available routes. Bus route 11, Hillmore to Taytay in Rizal. Bus route 12, Calentong to Pasig. 13 from Buendia or Hilpuyat all the way to Bonifacio Global City. The terminal is in Market. Bus routes 14 to 16 are coming from Ayala in Makati City. Bus route 14 from Ayala to Alabang Interchange. Bus route 15 from Ayala to Binyan City. And bus route 16 from Ayala to FTI Complex, wherein FTI Complex said to be the site of the future Taguig City Integrated Terminal Exchange. Next up, we have bus route 17 from Monumento all the way to EDSA Taft Interchange. And as what I have said earlier, it's also a bus augmentation service for the Line 1. Bus route 18 is the Pitex Naya Loop or Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange Ninoy Aquino International Airport Loop or the Manila International Airport Loop rather. The loop route could have a single terminal already as the default setting. Wherein speaking of Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, it got resumed already, and the bus route echo got extended from Taft all the way to Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, and it becomes a bus interchange or bus terminal. And the newest bus route 19 and 20, oh my goodness, 19, 20, and 22. Bus route 19 from North EDSA Interchange all the way to Bonifacio Global City Interchange. Once again, the North EDSA terminal or interchange rather is located at the either Trinoma or SM North EDSA. But for Bonifacio Global City, the terminal is at the Market. Bus Route 20 from Monumento Interchange all the way to Mekawayan in Bulacan. The existing Bus Route 21 is from the same interchange all the way to San Jose del Monte City. The newest Bus Route 22 is from the same roundabout interchange, you know what I mean, all the way to Angat in Bulacan. Now we're going down the south. Bus Route 23 is opened as well from Pitex all the way to Sucat. Bus Route 24 from Pitex to Alabang via Las Piñas City. Bus Route 25 from Bonifacio Global City all the way to Alabang. And down further south for Cavite from bus routes 26 all the way to 30. For bus route 26, it heads to Naik, 27 for Trece Martes City, which, by the way, would pass through Bacoor City and even parts of Kawit, Imus, and General Trias City. And for bus route 28, it's the Dasmariñas City. And bus route 29, General Mariano Alvarez. Bus route 30 would pass through Cavite City already via the Expressway Route 3 or ETA, also known as Manila-Cavite Expressway. And those symbols would mean that could be like the origin or destination. Apologies for some sort of issues right here in this space. And we're going to show you in the full screen. By the way, city bus routes 19, 20, and 22 are the newest ones. The existing are from Echo 1 to 30, except 10. So we're going to pause this for a while. While we're going to have some sort of discussions that are needed for the betterment of the transportation, let's go back to these results of the reach, engagements, and even the most important thing is that the response that are needed right now from the people. And as you can see, 529 people got rich and 113 likes, comments, and shares. And of course, 18 post clicks. 4 photo views. 14 other clicks. 0 negative feedback. 5 reactions, including the likes and the hearts. And of course, I got overwhelmed by those responses. And now, here are the common frequently asked questions that I got it from most netizens right here. So, before we're going to the frequently asked questions, let me go back to the screen. The phase 2, which would happen from 22nd to 30 June 2020 under the general community quarantine. The rest of the public utility passes on the intercity levels at a Singapore style. Once again, the rest of the public passes at a Singapore style could be resumed. And of course, the modernized public utility vehicles and even the UV Express services. But as far as I have said it earlier, it has to be at the 50% of its capacity. How much more if we're going to resume? Wherein some sort of modernized public utility vehicles are still lacking. And by the way, if you have noticed the article coming from the Manila Standard today, let me search it for you guys. The Silang Transport Service and Development Cooperative. And the title here goes, Silang Transport Group unveils new public utility vehicles. You know what? those old style jeepneys could be banned already. There's more likely that the old style jeepneys would be banned as well as modernized public utility vehicles have come here in Cavite. As per Silang Transport Service and Development Cooperative, and by the way, I've been admitting to this one that I tend to ask the captain or driver about the modernization preparedness. And of course, there are more likely that this type of modernized PUVs could be deployed elsewhere around Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. In Davao City, the high priority bus system got deployed as well. And of course, we're longing for the development and environmental friendly initiatives that we need. And right now, there's nothing more, nothing less for the transportation modernization that it takes to the future. We're saying goodbye to the old normal already and hello to the new normal. And of course, provincial buses, if they are allowed already, there would be a high chance of diversions to the following bus terminals. For the south, it's the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange and Santa Rosa Integrated Transport Terminal. And for the north, it's the Philippine Arena or the North Integrated Terminal Exchange rather, which is closest to the Philippine Arena within the Ciudad de Victoria in Bulacan. And I'm glad that these developments would spur growth and development elsewhere around the region. And once again, no provincial buses are allowed to or from Metro Manila until further notice. To summarize this one, we have 30 out of 31 city bus routes got operational. The bus route from Cubao to Doroteo Jose is not yet operational. And by the way, the line 2 is still working from Cubao all the way to Recto Doroteo Jose interchange. And sooner or later, Line 2 west extension could extend all the way to Pier 4. North-South Commuter Railway project is under construction already, all the way from Tutuban Terminal all the way to Clark, and from Solis to Calamba. And if you're going to commute, let's commute responsibly. And of course, we have to observe physical distancing measures. The seating plan should be the alternate for three seating configuration, or five seating configuration rather. The three-seater must be 1, 2, or 2, 1, 2, 1 per row, depending on the seating configuration. And for two-seater, two-seater, it has to be alternating, unless the new normal buses like those of DLTV company and its parent company, Del Monte Motor Works, have devised a prototype for the new normal buses in which each seating has the acrylic screen, and even the three seating configuration, one on the left, one on the center, and one on the right. And the captain got shielded by the acrylic type glass. Or a acrylic type plastic shield rather. No more tickets already. You need to tap and pay through the electronic payments procedure. And so for the Ube Express, you might need to do some sort of registration first. And of course, here are the links that you need to do some sort of registration as a passenger. And it and you could visit this link or web portal of P2P or Ube Express P2P pass route passenger registration information to this p2p.ubeexpress.com/register_passenger. And of course, going back to the engagement, 101 comments got recorded, and we're now on the split screen. 101 comments, and we're going to have some sort of short break after we have to do some sort of breaks first. We're now back on Dpinfocus live session, and it's the transportation updates. And by the way, I have received some sort of questions coming from our netizen. And by the way, while we're refreshing the page and resharing those elements that are needed to show it up on the screen. Hopefully, there would be no technical glitches already, no bloopers here. So, we're going to some sort of progressive discussions and even the response. So, this one could be the first interactive question and answer response. Though some sort of commentary elements have needed to translate it into English for the sake of our friends coming from abroad. And of course, we're going to have some sort of question and answer response that could be for the first time be expanded on air and online. Hopefully, no technical errors could happen. And to ensure that there would be no interruption during this live session, I might have to, you know, unfortunately, there are some sort of technical issues that we're experiencing right now. Hopefully, this would not affect the live broadcast the way it should be. Anyways, I have found some sort of quote coming from our fellow feaster, Dean John Escoto from the Feast Cavite Laguna District. And it says here, the goal of life is to follow the true master. There's only one. And when we obey him, Jesus gives us the rest, joy, and peace of true freedom. And by the way, the reference is from Didake by the Feast Books, the latest Didake 2020 quote for the day. And if you like it, don't forget to follow, like, and share Dear Poultry for on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube as well. And by the way, we're going to have some sort of timetables to be shown. Let me show it to you on the right side of the screen. Hopefully, no technical issues could happen as well. And by the way, next program, Adulting with Joyce Spring, Shot of Sanity, live session at 2000 Philippine Standard Time, 8 p.m. to be exact. And by the way, if I'm going to share one part of the comment or the question and of course, we're now on Dear Poultry for FB page to be exact. We're going to refresh the comment section and we're going to spot down those unanswered questions, or the newest rather to say. The question here, it says, by the way, from Makati to Calamba, if you're going to ride a bus or a train, I'm heading for some sort of researches that are needed here. From Makati to Calamba, which is a P2P bus. And the destination is at the SM Calamba. If we're going to visit p2pbus.ph portal, there's an interactive bus planner here. Time intervals could be vary. It could be 30 minutes to an hour or longer if needed. And it's operated by Delta Neo Solutions company. And here's the response for the departure time information. What he or she has to look for, or sis Cheya Seyako saying that, how should I ride a bus from Makati to Calamba? Therefore, going back to the schedules, or let me say, procedures rather, that is needed. We're going to visit the Sakai.ph blog page for more complete P2P bus information that is needed to be responded. And of course, the last update is from 2019, and I do apologize if there are some sort of inconsistencies with the published information. I'm not sure if those informations are complete, wherein I do apologize once again. It's actually a St. Rose Transit Incorporated and not the Deo or Delta Neo Solutions. Once again, it's the St. Rose Transit Incorporated. And we're going to explore by the looks of the Sakai.page map. And by the way, it's the OpenStreetMap contributors. I'll turn off the ticker for, or let's have some sort of a split screen. It's the OpenStreetMap contributors. And of course, the start could be from Glorieta 3. And of course, let's zoom it out all the way to the end. And by the way, that dot represents the base. So kindly ignore it. And let's zoom it into SM Calamba. The end route is actually at the SM Calamba. And so, I'm going to respond on this type, on this format. And it says here from MRT Ayala Interchange. Walk all the way to the P2B bus terminal in Glorieta 3. Then ride the bus all the way to SM Calamba. And that's it. And if you need some sort of assistance, don't forget to, you know, DM Dear Paul at m.me/dearpaulph, then click Get Started and click Talk to Dear Paul 24. Prompted. And it's flash on the screen for easy reference. And of course, before we go to the conclusion of this episode, I would like to shout out the commuters of the Philippines group FISSM Tasmania's group, particularly the Media Ministry, Music Ministry, Youth Ministry, and Singles Ministry, as well as the Corpus Ministry, Awesome Kids Ministry, and Bible Study Community. Shout out also to Shot of Sanity podcast group, and also shout out to our partner podcasters, Sister Joyce Brain Trevino, Brother Wancho Trevino, Brother Aaron Ataide, and as well as the upcoming program come at the soonest time as possible. Hopefully, this whole Cavite province would be much safer, and from July, modified general community quarantine will be implemented. I have wanted also to share it to you. My next passion, and right now I'm still focusing more on the fixes for the internship program that I have wanted to, especially the completion of the subjects that are required, and hopefully if all of these grades could be passed and cleared, then it's a green and go already for the internship program. But my only passion is to improve the lives of every Filipino as well. And right now, there are so much plan to do, especially for my planned thesis discussion, which is all about the rehabilitation of a certain place in Tasmania City that's so plagued with the heavy to standstill traffic, not only for the motor vehicles but also the people movement or the pedestrians mixing up in the upgrade sections, blowing to the red light. And once again, here are some sort of reminder that you need to take it seriously. Do not ever blow the red light, especially if it's a red hand signal or red standing man symbol. Or else you might get fined already with the jaywalking offense. And for motor vehicles, motorcycles, do not ever block the bicycle box, pedestrian crossing, and the yellow box in that case of red light signal. And if there are some sort of a footbridge rather, do not try to jaywalk in the middle of the highway. Yes, that you might get hit by motor vehicles and get injured or dead on the spot or upon hospital arrival. And I don't like such things to or scenarios to happen. And also, for the bus stop, especially in Robinson, don't ever try to go into the very edge of the sidewalk, as some buses would maneuver or veer into the rightmost part, and you might get hit and get injured. And that's all for the safety tips that I have to share. And also, before I could end this one, here's the safety tips for motor vehicles. Do not try to encroach the bicycle lane, not even the sidewalk, as these are the restricted lane for cyclists and pedestrian use only respectively. And if you're in Highway 1, AH26, 4th Circumferential Road, also known as the EDSA, you have to keep off the bus lanes and bicycle lanes as well to avoid huge fines and penalties. And of course, we all wanted that the safe travel, safe health, or healthy state of our mind, body, and soul. So always remember that God is so good all the time, even though that we are at the struggles. And that's the conclusion of this episode. Don't forget to like, follow, and share Dear Portray for on most social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, SoundCloud, Twitter, and YouTube, and the newest one, which is the TikTok. Next program at 2000 hours is the Adulting with Joyce Spring Shot of Sanity live session. So, SOSers, see you right there, and you might get surprised that I might have to do some sort of commentary, banter side there. So, see you guys at 2000 hours. Take care to all of you guys. Be well always. Good night and happy sweet dreams. And I